And it welcome ke discussion dan. Yesterday she contact interruption ke doing Facebook, huh? But I think this will be a better platform for us to have this discussion. So don't unite in video more quick. Biang ajo this is like a few time now because in a topic in the teaching a lot. Topic in the focus then with the take philosophy kind of religion. Basically all like kind of gel ko philosophy a study of the mind who tie in there and share there and the chart jadi tie there and big question there the PhD about life kada mana na bom take interest in these things ka connect and knock about who to take ka share to go so tang gon the don't be a big question but like there could there all along and neck tang kun the reaction why ask such a question and what they tell me again they teach there's nothing wrong thing ci bible a lot but clearly would teach be I just don't think about libya so in that case there's nothing wrong with question it's all about Banaka explore so topic for today right on the week of can time to put their time they chat here time point a part of God any introduction in there so we have Buom Michael here can Mr. Koang ani ba ko kam da mana na bom be chu banyal nen ne ra chu gu ra yo
Uh, Thank you, ma'am. Chilote ko chana program chana nga continue. Yeah, me la do get a fun support problem ka network or something. I don't know. Time chawa long channel can you continue wala. Chang adan chan roi kan mi shwali do ko na ke chara da nek. Lakin me ju kono tin long ju kono quick ne ka logic. Lo chawa and then chawa jo long that one point is that take a problem, take a contradiction. You can work along that legal logic that you can discuss that all logic here look by chang key a part of God. Ngen chow long go the word logic you quite chang ya put. Yen chi no convince to no logic actually must be part of God. Ngen cha accept one go. Go metal and go I shan be chare be logic be create. You must first have logic to create logic, which and actually doesn't make sense. Loving logic must be part of God, by the way. Okay. Now, Bano Ben time, for example, in time, share me a part of God, check a logic, or share me and look quite young, and time, share me quite young, or share me a part of God. Uh, Before you, a more kind of theme, go on time that the can define, how long time, I don't know, definition is very, very difficult. And me tell the idea that I'm that can on go, that define time.
So, guy, and me chal ko na time, cha gor ke physics of relativity. Take a theory me cha kamra Albert Einstein. So during my engineering school, cha course mo so enjoy lo. Course which a part of me chala quantum physics. Quantum physics. Time, các scientists say is right catch up in Tembola talk George relative. Okay. What this mean we get some planet and then you can age much more slower compared to material move. Like me should the runang well to the runang nyaltong in them other planet. What in Jaltam math jine lu njok di ramme ci bañ piñ ri di medan even just to grow so much faster you can grow long to kulu ñu no time relative wasn't it miti ki space me jal time matin ci grow ka fat ka miti bi mon be grow ka fat to mi chol ko na time jal ka ngo ka tim jal nen kon tim ngo na ke je okay ci ndadi ngaji wi ko dong every year ci jantai to kontar ci jantai to kontar ka je so the better explanation be good at time jen be good for work at time ko ge road jen ga road ka je so then and then no be no but don't be long understand it has to be relative on you and it has to do with time so again way la time la mal understand ke jana mo jal mo but nen part of me udi chale means the first person kon create ka Adam me cha chak chang ne me chak je mi ti ne mi chi je go tirunde imagine da lo je tirunde ya da mi je wanda ma jen chang ne me ja cha ku le je wanda tirunde da me ngai kon Adam chak ja ram dit re ka ke den but ki japan ki cha da man ngaje te go runang de cha la wut horde beni jara la wut the process of time and economy ka wut cha la Adam. So it's difficult for them to understand. So that would tell us in our time, Raman co control Ramadan. Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Panom.
Yes, cha lo kon go. So in time, chet ke ta ku scientist ne lat ke ye. You know, about two definition ba un can sign in a Bible. So take a actual ke Big Bang. So Big Bang ke they what a point of singularity. There was some point called mutual singularity in universe, which we get to it start from this massive explosion when planets, so you could say stars come into place, Chatagamon and all of that. So the motion of these objects, you know, whether a galaxy, a star, in relation to one another, again, good time, could you create a shantame, la corner weta con cat and the gender one we mourn the chang. Wow, this is just the movement of our planet Earth on its own axis get 24 hours. The will order can be full rotation be took. But the yom will around the sun benang 1 year the call 365 days and a quarter, like let's say bakil. So la nang ke to ba chole ron kon. So time came into existence, physical time, when there was event. So event in the major to eventual Big Bang when there was this explosion. So in Teme, there was a moment mutual time. So near which all gonna moment that is actually a hard thing to say. Like actual uh yeah, they actually before is measured in time. You know, before and after looking at time. But a moment tell a mutual time with a thing because there was nothing. So again, Nituka, in the beginning was the word was with God, and the word was God. So there was a time before no time, like physical time, yeah. So Guadamot and Okotin, and then Tenis Titia physical again then. Now con a physical object, qua no con home and a con human being. Then I'm alive today. Okay. Tomorrow, Beben. Yesterday is a year already. So in time more, we got done job at big event to care present, care past, care future. Okay. Present time again time in existence minute now. Past time which is gone already is no longer in existence. And then future, the moment of becoming what is going to occur and so in that case, that is definition of time. Mention we have memories. We can say metar chine con jal wi jame ne chine plan wi tar metar ke je ron e chua last year chine jal wi jame itar bene jal wi jala dinami. So yeah. So and then even with our aging, you know, because there is a change in progression there. So again definition of time.
Okay. Then chúng ta phải luôn cần được we share point, share time, share define nhé. And when time is a very difficult concept. But in physics, can you in life that is very difficult concept. Okay. And when share define, can you what? Okay. In terms Panom ko ben kasi dan. Anu o me again check time. When the share me time, a part of God necessary check a logic. Okay, mo jen gura bana loy.
Logic and time you can work in. One of the things I'm not relativity with it. And time relative. Okay. And them that on learn which you want me to mal pedalo. But there I'm don't learn me again. You see? So the time and them depend on individual. In those individual events in Jalarekan. So if your year has been so wonderful, take it to go to let it. If you go to know them all talk, take you want to catch up, yes. Then you say that well, run to Japan. Paramkel, Lloyd at any 2027, take medal 2027. The which you run kind of the Jalamat. So he has no business with 2026. The same as night, take a Nindala to la Janalong, which I know J. Mila Baja Longo where don't la point la follow me, chunk left with that. You would say that well, look, where am I Janalong? That kind of young idea. Telling you that term is related, okay, to either event or individual. So that's why with this definition itself, you would not say that a term a part of God. And logic is the same. It's the same everywhere to everyone. And it's the same to God. That one make it a part of God. Go put terror again. Definition for the token man put terror again. Character again. But time na ri get around. Chijen. Nin 24 hour to right on opinion day. And damage o George no chigata career, chigata problem. No go back a man minute. By 2027 maybe the talk chebiate 24 hour shop. Nang but 24 hours within a minute. Go charge they don't represent the reality. Can you imagine? And point time they get. But ko terror again. To me you go and go chianga ka fast chianga ka prison ka chianga ka future. And go ben go time chi father o chianga ka past chianga ka prison chianga ka future. Like chianga go ni dia to. Ngaje la whatever lero panno tete beje. Lero den tame kan lero de hirun. So that means that it does not even need a time. Me jinu geje ramen chap oh. So con go time. Go take it to me one. Don't even them that time. So kaya the queen Panom jaga jachi quote chi part chi time chi part of God. Yeah.
And where alam is a kong share me again time kwa chang me yang misa.
Yeah.
And ane jing lang. Okay. Kalang question. Misa Panom bernet.
Yes, that part of it, Tom, couldn't agree, and I actually agree with him there. So just a disclaimer before I can go on the topic I can discuss we haven't had any discussion on it, even previous topic, but so down there that it was quite thin either, but she a big thing. So when they do time, yes, time when physical universe came into existence, then what they should time should have been, okay. And time a temporal thing me we exist now so any me to day 1 day 2 day 3 whether a planet whether a canal time could create and I believe there was a time, this sounds like a contradiction itself. Say what may tell a time then when God just lived eternity here outside time, like actual outside time, a little timeless. There was a timeless period. Me talk about this in kind of dark, but ichi let's say let's say 1 2 3 come on, that's not what it is. That's not what we mean. God can certainly count on the mind or take care okay doctor can then and thus the actual and a more mental time. But the actual physical time, as we talk about movement of object, thin, all right, only when our physical things are created. But a mental time, the account in your brain, that is part of logic. More. I don't. That's just counting, right? The all more as in that sense. But change in time, a lot corner one I may. Mr. Ben go quote. E when it take point, me jama na put raise about that. Like people say, oh, quote take a past, take a present, take a future. Okay. To me, the moment you could decide to be all by chuck, the universe they create, it chose to enter into time. Okay. So chetama con the other con in time. So right on at this very moment as we speak right now. So the same thing made you put the universe chuck. Go bakola marketing chuck. He has to be in time. Okay. It can't be outside time, otherwise that way me da correlate. For example, you praying at me pa like quick go take a ramata ke jwe tie ma len che mo ke jwe wala di tie jo be pa la be a loy be point ja ka go. There is an example when we are Daniel Pale, and then you report ben ke ja cha you palu cha ling ni ke chen en ya me to pal ke je. But cha gang pin ni jenda ra kel jag do dien bene chu ko win mon che cha kan o ke ten dia la de na cha what a time ka ko ba ko la mar ka kon because kwaje du da ko le ke ja ko without time and then mi chu kon ko what a take a maintain in his life agenda kon ko relate ke ja at that time but for time being now ke jan gwa the man he has to come to our time ko ba ko relate ka kon right ko tala duo me da kon chok ka time de ko wa the that time so quote yes take a present moment as we speak tomorrow ben I also believe tomorrow can a past can a future they don't exist. The only time that exists to me at present now, which is right here, right now, Rune can nature because Rune is the making of today. So we are actually creating tomorrow as we speak today, but tomorrow Bakuleben. And then I don't believe that there were 50 years to come, 30 years to come. In every single detail of everything that I will do, we call like a determinism, right? Because those moments they actually don't exist yet. Because could exist. I'm making them a decision. Let's say, sorry, I'm going a bit longer. Me, lana milk at okay. Time pop don't know let's say in the next 20 years, but I get lung cancer or something like that. But I don't. And that will be very different. So in that case, it's a prediction rather than those moments actually exist. Don't they let know.
Okay. Tama siya ng mali na may Koang time kwa chang niya po. But somehow actually and I go TV all the time because and lana gen dia time to create take long wo mutlin be tibin okay and take long wo be tibin ko jen ku time create okay tama and tama take right di long ka ban
Ngut ke
ko
ma to no gwa to ma to tin bom kulo ne yeah I believe mane kon Panom the little area in yo chire ne ko tin de ku da ta ka pan da ta ka wala da ta ka rum my answer is yes but again kwamat kona Panom is not in relation with us in university economy didn't kan yana nan chang kan scientist kan guru ne jok so cha jeng ne tong da ta ka filan nang bakel nang baro whatever but then in win mon did me ko ngaji ya long so yes put ala gente la time la point ne ko eternal mana di altin de chak bo te intent to create from the beginning eternal like a dorare they don't need time right but may not been chucked to get county. So I would agree, to choose to go with terms, yes, that's okay, but not with the universe. And not with the universe in didn't check, but with us. So we could really con need to good. So we con. So but with the universe in the check, with Daniel in the check, with Guachi and Gada, Chianga, a la Dora Teletam, Gore. But anyway, tell a nigger con. A la letter think of con over Chiankel con Belarch and Runjan go bangas. Chio Chede Goro, Chio Chedanga, but Ched decide. Chirun, Cocon, Chiabangach, Chiapalcon or not. So that was my one of the debate. Which I con debate. I think 2015. More than charge, Kuba. Che decide but te kel ke ko kon chit pi ko ru pi kon mol ke kon predict ni je beton activity let kon ke janta ko gor bet te kel kon du ke university jen ko ngeje bi mon badak ko wi mon ngay kon la wi mon kon ngay je badak from the beginning. Okay, te kule ben tu nga ba ke no nga badak je kel nga bitere let it be your church. Okay, but the whole universe ngeje tan ke je from the beginning. That's how I would interpret it.
Let me just before we moved on, let me just add one thing. Allow Dan ke koda a little bit when I make a time decision on quack influence a lot of things. They don't want to cook affect. Time they allow to go to be a man, be a PhD, but a master degree, care, be a achieving a millionaire. You don't know, but on the gym week a dream, me don't chill out of my shit, right? Because you can only control that much. But couple the charaka dial, big you got talk. Okay, so me check a declare on a map at work. It's almost as if you talk. Chereme Abraham, you get begin of one door. Changla metal Abraham tell a young kel, God at all. Niamko, they are in existence. Okay, even though can't get it up yet. All right, because tell a restriction got power. They long to bring all of his plan into action, right? So Chalono, as I am here, could ngay a good work or they win one of a good day, right? To me here, I don't know, there is a fixed date there, but universe they create a physical number one. Anything will have physical, a temporary legend, but all right. So that's automatically mean take a good. They will actually finish. Secondly, he can make it happen. Whatever he decides to do, he can make it happen. All right. Just be a example. I'm going to take throughout the Bible. The power to make things happen. Jaga share ko go be nyodo share ki ngai min ngo niam chalo no menta niam ja thin there has already happened, but it will couple it's like it has already happened ko take along with be nung share ka dial ba ja ka to jene de clarify na ba ni.
Okay. Another time I take some disagreement as kida. Yani Mr. Koang again, God doesn't know the future. Let's say, yani mila reason ko there's actually free will. Can't you confine you? Much correct. You free will change. Yes, yani me take free will 100%. Actually, your point is correct. Yani God, the future ya guys. Lanu mengai future mengai membicarun ki mola. Da take a problem ka free will. As you get me the Koang again. I believe God actually planned everything from the very beginning to the end, and God actually knows the end of the universe. That means He knows the future, right? Okay. Now, at a point here, and who the gen kutang kuye credo ki shirme part of it. Kon shirme chana agree who and point time kwa create okay. Now, the bigger question is now coming, okay? A la point quote chetam you create, okay? Ngai kono point time which you create biri and yim gordi and middle and kojin tiga power over time, okay? Biri leli and mungkin dongi break and look mungkin dongi pause, for example, and yim gordi at the time, right? Now the problem right now is here. God me jen ku time ki create lower take a power of time, for example. Yes, first, Jeremy, there are past meet work, there is change. There are for there change. Tabana for the cool time we fit, okay? Past meet work, then there is change. Kajan Jeremy there future there is change. And I don't know, maybe she the prayers into here, I don't know. Or sometimes meet a problem, me don't okay, me don't that way, for example, don't jago and who can you can't agree or love them, there must be, let's say, something called determinism at some point, and let's say free will, okay? Lano take a pang on the chap who are time do. Me take me jam mungkin me chipal there for the change. Okay, share me put question in face. Okay, if I don't understand, member baden bang lotin baden. Share me there a future there change. Kajen share me there past me what there is change. Kajen ajala create of time. Yes, I just want your opinion. Koang first and then Mr. Kaiser.
Yes. So, je kune agree kon Panom ku yen kutam ku credo. She a part of it. Yeah. Kus yen kutam ku credo. Me yen kutam ku credo. Kutiru la da past da change. Ki da future da change.
Okay, wait a minute, okay? Yani example road mana kam kona. Take a matter, take me yellow physics, which grandfather, I mean grandfather paradox or something like that, okay? Yani, in terms of share me, chakon dab, okay? Yani, in point course for example, right now, at a chai dab right now. Lakin, again, kutam quick and again, chill create, okay? Gentlemen, nature, what let's say, fast, for example, for a yellow crate of time, take long order, fast that I move with, okay? Which are past your parent, for example, Chago Jago, which Chigo meet low and big again in Bramo, but don't Bramo and okay, let's say in some of Euro Bram, one on here. I didn't them right up. This is a chair down land with high mission more. A yellow problem, can I get for the
Let me make it a bit harder. Jaga harder. This is the
okay.
grandfather paradox. So harder part will could they alloy back in time? They guardia one neck, Micha guard chan neck, they guard will adopt it.
I have problem there. Yeah, true. Whatever for no problem.
You can come up, brother Kai.
Kana ling door jodun charo de mugoro de jodun.
All right, let me Elijah and I take a mutually grandfather paradox here. Okay, so let's say in terms of the yen, time, let me time travel. When you can go back in time, which you go back in time, the guru, okay, the gudong, the one that keep guru, any of them, which you gudong here, one that means a guru chat up. But will you still be in existence? How could you be alive?
That's the problem. This is serious, okay? This is very
Be pass be mulo yo Panom. I'll watch your future.
Okay, sure.
I'll watch your future. So yeah, a lot. Jen chada kami kono kon discuss ke was mi sure. We are making time. We are making time. We are making tomorrow. Rundari al kona ka. Okay. Kut gur mu go kidan. La gur je do kono need to go. But no bukom kula need to go. We have to contribute it. Yeah. We have to contribute it. Example in Japan, mugur bugar ke PhD, for example. You are really fighting for your fast. Take muguru bula keje ke bula na keje in the future. Yeah. So need process tin nang to bukwen bugar irite bilat to go ribangaj. Okay. So it didn't follow TK sleepless night. For that reason, you are creating something. But michu ngong derma, for example, 50% of the native jarod in a PhD like an happen. Okay. So what is happening with future now? Michi you ngong ye felanata. Michi take persistent ye took. Then in dama. So tell a good predestination for that. You are working a time, a future, run away a future. That is exactly the time. Okay, you are preparing a time in the future. And that one is to rest on you. In a spiritual realm, you have to pray for something to come into existence, and it should really come. Whether through help of God in prayer or through your determination to happen. That means that we are making our future. Okay, real future and how would this relate to God? What's the chang tam? Tam chak chendra kon 120 years you mon. Aran but 120 years. Sometime ke ten nyon kon chok kon chok ke nyon kon tin ti kon 120 years kon chok ta. Kon jam kon ke tin mat kon ke. But then within those 120 years, Allah do blood of him. Who's take a purpose? No go di na medi yelat. Bel hari. But a widow. No be Allah talk. Je relation to bang go na mo. Je puch. Community effort you go to be like Je puch them. Okay, but you have to be determined to do it. Again, pentin wal pentin bo. There is many different factors. Okay, achang kiro pula tin bo long take a factor to jada pentin again. That's when it takes us to our previous debate. And free will has to be very balanced. Imagine the look future, okay, not even on the Panom pass.
Hey, wait, and I think Allah Mr. Koang, Jine God, the future that I get, no Jen Sherman there long again.
Get quan lor ka Bible, take a rami chipal, Joshua, the pal, chung amin kongwam, achura wine. Okay, take me go never chung to chung, cannot wine. A time they jack and a time go be chung. And that is the future. Future network and I go chung, take him back. Put take a long amount, go and talk on time.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Panom. Girl, mucha, I wouldn't be fast gear service.
Can comment both the past can future.
Okay.
Yes, could take a control the time. Whether at time and one yam care time and chiwa, but the assumption one I made, let me just start again. Grandfather paradox. Grandfather paradox what deal can make time travel. Time travel, sheer possible is actually not possible because the assumption of past already exists is in existence now. Someone can go to the past, and the assumption or someone can still go to the future. Okay, no, to me that cannot happen because both past and future they actually don't exist. What exists is right now, which is present. But can God change the future or can God change the past? This is how God can change the past. Here past of itself are like events of the past, but don't the consequence the past that it work there could get. Let's say in time la wa ne ti kan ne ti cha dong ram ya lam kwan do na kien ngo de be ka ke. Here jan time and lam more you can actually stop that from coming to the present generation and or which are talk or time some action that can get consequence like generation it niam la kan ka chop, right? So Michiran ben ka so the gospel message you go you do ko dial de kon de chilat ba ka peleka, right? So mi ja peleka teme cha yo pa cha leli cha change pas the medan dong de jin rameten ne di ten ti dia le jeng le ke. And we see this all the time because again like you go as long you are alive the past doesn't determine your future, okay, your present. You can change the past. Kodi decide to be live differently. Ko present time pull the thing. Okay. Michi kwal medan. Yes, you kwal medan. But do you kwal pel today? That's what I mean by changing the past. But here that unwind and only the guru naga that thing. Go that event are gone already. It's finished. Here we tell long but it doesn't exist. There may go a lot of things that do not exist. You know, you cannot change those things that don't exist. Can self-existing God become non-existent? You can't well know that work. So non-existent thing, teach it then they actually not think to take a future, to take a past, a future, but they actually don't exist. Which have been future your future, you can change future and nothing right Goga right now we right Goga. It has to do with that of changing the future. La poor la rajene cha work and Indian jock in the last day begwari ka ben manam no uninated and Latina your current behavior is creating your future behavior. Okay, because the way you're behaving today is the best predictor of how you're going to conduct yourself in the future, right? So yes, the very clearly there. You can change it. Example, you when you are in a chaka come timeline, you need to one chicken dog, but we don't buy that by your neck deal. And then make it what did they do? They literally change their future. And I think that's the purpose, right, Goga? All right, Goga is about changing the future for better or for worse. So, yes, God can change the future as such as future events. Can get good outcome. He can change the past. Let remember. Bring into memory. New generation. Check that bigger consequence we can get because they can determine or she can choke DNA can go. So but you that grandfather paradox, no, that cannot exist. Chida one yam future but one then chida lo jog past because those two things do not exist as such. Then they lo jana.
Yeah. Okay, ito mo yan Mr. Kong siya mad long come siya future ano ko dere future dere ger siya ka yan man yung na da puli mo no ga le ne de yin ne ba lo siya may go ga time din ko kan ga yin yo no ba wi din ba da siya go ga time din again somehow ko siya ro ke rit ko da siya time na siya change, okay la mana siya future da siya change, yeah, which is also correct. Kan kan gibel cewa sometime that may take him go to you can partner the koda there anu say the future, okay, and the me there may shana mat long con there, oh yes, all the future that okay, again I think mental problem long man and the problem in the past, okay, men dan example with a grandfather paradox, you know, someone commercial physics second she possible or daran lo job daran Netherlands time travel to the past and she possible. Again, somehow time travel to the future that is possible. So, for example, Galawa which is spaceship she went near the black hole, something like that, because there Galawa time is low, don't it? Me she went near let's say the black hole and then me even lunjo but then Galawa but then I'm okay, me time me wa very slow, jinda jin si dong. Mi lo jog then di ne te ko de renew dia ko dong mi jeglo chi dong kan and this is just the way they define let's say just something like that, okay, and traveling to the future or something like that. But chelo no da and the future they get and no problem cannot but chelo no again them con right con God point the creator of what of time, okay, and them God she call define lo take and there are time set inside time, okay. Yani ko jen mite rather time I don't know. Okay, jen mite inside time ka kon care. Te ga tin wan te che ka me kwa kon yen tan time dong da yen sometime lakin ko jen te rar jen a jen ku time control lo te long wo da time da kap chong da le li ha ya. El ko jen a jela create of time adi, okay. Okay, ato and me che dwela la for example. Ta long wo de ta long de wang de le li yim go rutin, okay. And point time allow past and pass more. Jeremy take a contradiction and point called Mitchell job share good more open big kajin time chai tung da pakin shall decide right now but jo time for example gur ken mor me ngoda kwa ki be ane ki mo dong be nan me ngoda kwa ki ku dong be na ngoda kwa kiram da long gen lakin ngai ngani ko okay kona ken ngai kona wo chede lel okay lakin ala possible kiram da long ngani ke power kiram da long wo dong da lel na mo ngoda ta from tin ko nganda mangan gweyo goda deal okay yani
ngani nang
rate of
na
time
ngani nang na la the physical thing ko maradian take on la the physical thing nen kon including even physical event ni to go charam ta da the physical event no ta da jen tek gi so ko ro mat re tram ke chorom mat in tram with this kind of physicality and it become part of the logic the thing kuti na ma cha teje ne but na ba kan play ya ke de ne chi jo ne bom as a part of logic yin ta ku tung da ban na la tuo go no de ji lo ko cha ji bada impossible okay because this is a physical reality and it goes with the logic got no more many pale chabetuok but this very physical thing mi choro lat choro ba ger a part of go logic and choro mare dan ke je ti je but put ku tam cha ne je lo je jo nga ja ngot ko lo je jo men God operate in a spiritual realm la ko di okay ngwana dia lat karo de ye ka past kon ngot ken ke la pass in the spiritual realm chi physical realm okay tin cha cha ko the ti charom telum pro gerden but ko the ye ngwan dia la karo de ye ka teletam la teletam line for spirituality okay why chi ngade it start with him wo tele tu ko tele good you see it goes with that in chapter ko tu tele ko good it goes with the la point dan ya tel tu ko tele good ni point dan ni ka point dan but the physical thing the spiritual thing. And that's why it is possible, in a spiritual well, which are lot. Yeah, candidate. Could go spiritual. One the other lot in spiritual. Come more detail. When work, there are things which are called curse. Because the way post 3 to 4 generation, they can get a killing job. Community one don't me. Yeah. So those kind of curse, the spiritual thing. They can condemn on it wouldn't need it. Me take me lot in the past. Put the jagan on time right on. Let it that thing that happened in the past mode of in operation. But that one not physical, is spiritual. Ngai ko tan cooperate kaje. Okay. So that's why can it in la pal ngai can these are the things to la break. La break is okay is spiritual about. Chicken physical breaking chicken got the pal the course me cha commit e more di adapted go mi cha ka lariet ngai kon ware mi cha mi chu te nyal che god ke chi che heart of girl che break la che nyal che ulok ke mala bang dong che rut che bangat to mi chi nyal che red men kwa dak this will work a spiritual course no mo la lede ngai ngare ni go to di ko ni che badak ko ni che badak this is the course me mala ja look ana kargan ko. So it's kind of a sin. The entire Birka, the major work from the first day of creation. More look on mandam. These are the things to learn spiritual realm, like the Paul and the Kadak can this kind of curse. So that's different operation, a spiritual operation no more. But physical reality, chirolage. Okay. It a physical impairment, a physical impairment. Chirolage. These are two different things. Jan my understanding no more. Don't then quite in Panom, but that's how I understand how God operate spiritual and physical realm. Yeah.
Yeah, like So there are two things that are in action here, like consequence for action. Those consequences they can go too far, like a physical disease that take a joy down in whether they sexually transmitted disease, care, let's say glaucoma, hereditary condition like genetic. Of course, like pass through that gene, then no more. Other things they ta ye like pal kun going again then let's say me take a year for them make a year for them those spiritual being then la Christian Bible or okay demon they actually go chicken live anyway, by the way, they're actually alive, so they can go from one generation to another possessing people. They family, they tend to stay in families. They family they go ramete chuor da waka gade da wangu kiete ko the man and those sort of thing, right? Because we more than we're not dealing just with physical reality, we can deal with spiritual reality. But men ngaje kora moment age ko te time je create ke je I don't think benama gian ka time a chang physical universe we about even when it's gone. She can't remember time because we still have the past to look up to. Because you were a human being, okay? Can Jin story Yeshu became a human being. That is something there is always a past. So by creating the universe and physical creatures like us, you choose over time is something that stay with us forever. I think you all the physical universe itself. Because coordinated a product of the universe, we will still be in existence. And they take a Madora more. Because what on our own past, yeah? Because what on our own past where you were once a human being, right? So that all as something we don't shit time in that sense, because more that on get past is a reference point you didn't. You now they call that they take up, but you still are a human being in the past. You can't take me down. So in that case, yes, men la demand and qua agree take a spiritual being to cooperate, fine. Thin, at all they can go from generation to generation, but break that intervention is people can pray wake a lamnity awake at tea ko time you move the right you maraje me malat kono wana me cha lat ke ye karo yene te ka lat je ri tu ngom nyam ta ba dap to all those future generation. And you look at the same thing, yes, you live 2,000 years ago, but we still claim le ada me je liu ke je ngore ri na ro den every year o che kan je liu ka kwidu ri ka cha pod yesterday pod 2,000 years ago. But actually pod je ne took a while me cha the lamb was slain from the foundation a one mag je ne took a while ko a plan ko. So charcoal the island the chara ben big yik to they are almost as if she got to already ne took her day. Whether you're looking back or you're looking forward.
Okay. Tama Mr. Koang tama. Yo jene post cepat saja bisa. True right? Okay, and tama jene post cepat saja. Yani shada lo jawa be gur ki mo be wo pe no bigi ko jinno chai sunda tamam. Lakin dara pio shada ger jo ko mat tenu won pio shada. Dama gere Mr. Panom dama share me sorry. Kalingwa share me ko dara pa ger shada. Wai mo wala.
Not physical past, no, not physical past. Yeah, physical past, yeah, that get no. Because physical past is no longer in existence. Yeah, more kind of good care ideal one don't con they con chicken live already, they are dead, right? So their existence, but time may chicken take a yeah. This is where the relativity of time come, right? The moment I doubt you have your time. We will little bit time to stop. Your time has stopped. Don't man could take adapt care. Their time is still going. Yeah, they're gonna accomplish a lot of things. Agent time anymore, but time to change, right? Tomorrow, mo why ye listen? Catch a gun more teach a list. the time continue. Your time will continue. Yen ne ti borom ni yen why da nong di thi ni ke what has happened? Ngi chu tuo me je tam de chuang. So it's not like the clock is still moving. The clock stop for some people. The clock still move for some people. Jen ku lat ke ku some planet they spin too fast. Going time dien ke pap 1080 they're going slow. You can come back and you find them not gonna make a dong not gonna dong along. Why? Because the time move differently. It just depends on movement of the objects. So yeah, but you can't change that. The reality or the more dong or the one negative good dong. No, I don't think that is possible.
Okay, hello, man. You know what? Lo yenda yen siapa you know what siapa sih dah ger complete lo. Okay, lo chat lo ger. Okay. Okay. Now, me share chat lo
Yeah,
ger man.
physical pass. Yeah.
Okay, first, what do you mean by physical part? Let's say physical pass and the other pass that you're talking about. Can you just explain that? Okay, let me check. We don't know what you're
Who the spiritual?
All right,
Physical
all
pass
right.
that's physicality. Yeah, that's
We
physical.
can leave the
There's
spiritual part.
nothing
We can leave
is
the
changed
spiritual
about that.
part. That is spiritual part and a mental.
Okay,
What do we mean by physical?
Chana yan manung chala physical part, spiritual part, has a problem. The problem di lo la. When chana manung physical, best lo chere life.
The physical past doesn't exist to me. According to me, physical past exists. There's no such a thing as physical past. Okay. Let's say me a relativity of time. Yes, don't leave what a past it, but we still experience the present together, right? And then I'm 5 hours ahead of you, right? That doesn't mean I live in the future. Chalo no talk of future right now as we speak. Okay. Even though time nyam ga jala jelwin mon ga je. In movement of time, yes, I'm ahead. I'm in the future. The movement of time. But when it comes to the like the experience of the present, we're experiencing the same time. Experiencing the same time. But the time is moving different. I'm ahead in time, even though Takon get the same present. That is just a relativity of time.
Okay, okay, dama. Roy kono post okay, wo post there page ke pass lagi okay. Kada te me le lagi muy kan yum ke yum ko roy kono shang andan ke mi kat ke. Kada na manene dama ya maje le lagi. Alam shege
Yes.
Nene no.
Yeah.
Ero mo dama
Queen,
take a pass ne.
Queen.
Ke page ne ke te ke.
Yeah.
Yalan dama ngan shagu ne shago chala rar na. Okay, yanin dama ko go te rar take long ojen dewo jogo mother do there time at more can good ki good on me more take that name taban okay at the same time right take long other dewo the future there got okay gul dong da got ba den dong de nen kwa me mem okay jen da do take long ko dong mungkin ko jen terar ka jara kweta take long other da point arrow mungkin dong da gong da nangwa dong na just for example ki dong arrow dong da gong da nangwa dong mem I don't know just because we are God a creative time, okay? Now, the problem is that this picture, be true, this picture, we God chala rar, okay? Then, here me take a contradiction, I deal with jen, that a pass, that a gera deal. Ki muke dong da picture, dong da kada deal, okay. And the picture way, and a Congo agreement, no picture very easy, and no problem, and which can take a pass, like we are talking about God, okay? She go like a con mother and she con and move a poor quick move connect a great time, impossible order not work fast impossible, okay? Like in can go outside here. Then actually I don't know, me take a condition, okay? Me take a condition no yen shepas share get me. This is not the problem. This is my problem because God way a creative time. There are time there and coordinate me there ja we ne ke da ja we ne ke da ja go re Don't possible like a point God I did I'm a creator. This is my big problem, right?
Let me answer that. You can come brother Kai. So many a picture around by a little movement of time,
Okay.
Time is progressing forward. Time doesn't go backward. Okay. time cha lo ye jok la wan jen miang. So that's why, because there is something, there is something called entropy. Okay, so let's say in terms entropy, more things are deteriorating over time. So in terms we should work a middle at terms, let's suppose we talk on there and then go at that time. Then at that point, the time in Chijian, the past time is already gone. Like you can only act at that present point, that dot and more, major time get, right? Either you stop it, dear caption, you're pausing it, here, the future time, like future time exists here, past time in that sense, but the actual time and teeth in now, the present moment, again, they act on it to affect what will happen in the future. Okay, let's say in terms of garame jala ka ngom te de lo guro da ran de we yet ke che chu stop che capping lo che te ye cap che guro be move men there la in the next 5-20 minutes che pala che ja ka we che betu ka because che present time che stop ke right, because you are not allowing him to accomplish men there la but you cannot go back why ja ngom che da la ke te you cannot go back a be ngom bi ar pin te de I che bi char o te ka ngom in the first place. All right. So past time is gone. You cannot change the time because the time is moving forward. But picture outside time. It's true and also not true at the same time. Milad gonna go out here and commentating. Milad gonna go out here and commentating. They outside that circle. But Milad gonna interaction like a human being they inside that circle. When he interact with creatures, then the child we want physical universe is inside the circle. But Micha interact again is outside that circle. But and then we interacting with him all the time, especially right so even in the spiritual realm, we have to drag time so yeah, time permanent reality. Even when the physical universe is for, we're still gonna have time because that's on the past reference.
Okay. And then to long them in low okay, to long them we share go put their passage complete, okay? Low we are impossible, okay? That's fine. No,
because it doesn't exist.
Okay, because that's okay. No problem. Okay, then me to low put there the share passage. For example, put share lo yo be مثلا good on ki more on be jago chill bit. Lono jin tema side up, okay? No more time she make sure predetermined must I mean, yeah. Yeah, a lot of them share me to make sure determinism ku answer completely. In my gender, you are actually predetermined to be born. I did and know and tell the way tani that war you are predetermined to actually be born. Okay. We also will give us the problem later and because we come to the free will about it. According to the problem about the free will. Can I be not
Yeah, alamen yamen bi men beja time is relative. And everything we are discussing take a time de. And it will take a time de. Okay. Time jalla ke ngak. Jalla ke this object. Jalla ke this planet. Jalla ke this action. This event. Time is relative to that specific event. Okay. In that sense, what I call about physical event like we charge it up. You can push immediately to logos. Okay. So physical event they go together with reality. Okay, with logic. Charge it up. You could charge up but you can't mark it. Like how can you relate with God? Okay. How can you relate with God? You reality. So in this sense, you could or get when it comes to charge it up that's why I can picture in your tour. For that specific reason, could stay within that I like it ra time ke picture mo tere jama lenni re jama ke tera ko tu kuj bo tera jama that when you want to relate with us it has to be inside and outside at the same time. Okay, so that it makes sense with us.
Okay. And then we siapa you no problem come shall logic okay. Here go the tear are at the same time. This is the problem, okay? So con naga problem da logic na ko that.
Yeah.
Yani con and then my show no problem da logic dan. You know could take inside time and outside time at the same time. Yalla and you can go and middle name should I and not at the same time. And middle and chira exist and not exist at the same time. Yalla sigire what does it mean now? And what does it mean? We could take inside time
Okay.
outside
Yeah,
Let me clarify that. The law of non-contradiction. La wadia. At the same time in the same category. What we're talking about is a different category. So tell a contradiction, because we're talking about a spiritual realm and a physical realm. Maraikon physical universe, God is in time. Maraikon spiritual realm, God is outside time. So here the same category. Charatamadi were a jin wood jiran. Okay, these are two different categories. Which I check they were bomber wood they were bomberan weran, but bomber wood nyamashia wood, right? Because we're talking about different category. So tell a contradiction there because we're talking about absolutely different category. Do we the same category? No, that would not make sense.
Okay. Okay. And then yani share me yanagal and put inside time and ke wote are tell a problem, okay? Okay, kanga ngani en ko en wo tera ke time ke jela ko ta ke time ke pen wo dere bin are, okay? Dere bin ko jela ko taban en tam kan me kon define logic way the under problem, okay? No problem. This and it's now fine ko dere bin Bull and as you say that and that inside time can also the same time outside time and it's like yes a chunk are mungkin dari being free okay and jenis jalur no okay that's fine okay and then ngur kon ke problem ko ngan tama kana kon bin ko dung fast no o ngan tama gue ko zo omnipotent yani the creator of time I did himself Mulono okay the mate lo check fast yeah the then everything is actually predetermined. And it is determined. It is predetermined that you actually go to the board, and no other way around. And tell away time with that to mugiro ya okay. Kan yo gadu muluk man atam dar mulugo pon ko gadu ngay future from the very beginning. We also rule out the idea of free will.
Jiti ja.
Okay.
Ala cha mini ling mi cha ko tiri mi cha ran cha ko. Tiri mi cha ko. Tiri mi cha ko. Now, mi cha mi ni je tam chere ke ji ko cha na ji. Other bomb. Mu chi ko ji le ja ga da to don. Now you are your twin. Mu ji ja like 5 years old on.
Oh yes. يعني انت مثلا مثال يعني انت ما كده شو كنتم دي اوكي لكن انت ما شير متى لو ده كده الوجه ما يو انا انت ما
Yeah, that pass that you know your father nyok.
this is exactly my problem that when I get my problem that I will that okay مثلا
Again, could near a lot of number.
okay
Again, could near a lot of number. A lot of more
yeah
logic, a lot corner there, Yerino. These are the physical reality. Me put on logic again, there are physical reality to logic generally. Like, why would he want you to go back? They let you future even yet regret. Oh, regret. So it creates you as a bomb. Now go grow no more go range like 5 years old. Tell them go there you are in Western world. So
yeah
can could regret in the Africa, could go to Western world. Like tell them char na bijil or double like Hawaii. It like the way you are. So why would he change things? Yeah. Something metaphysical reality. She could go beggar because of his logic.
okay
The point, yeah, a lot, you see my finger now is moving, right? When I'm moving my finger is coming here, this portion here anymore. Okay. So when God is acting in the present, go what deal with human beings that are alive. So it's dealing with people kind of reality right now as we speak. Right. So Mugure Jao Bejipen will be chop near one man. But come to Chongwa teeth now. Okay, but you go look Jala Jalga right now, where Jali Jagalong, you're actually going to fall. I just warning anymore. Cool, right? But today you go pause it to already bargain because the pause has already happened. We go to get a pause, but pause get within its present time. Go pause is a matter of present. You go right today, today will be tomorrow, right? By tomorrow you're gonna begin. So the only chance that I can to change the past is to actually change the present right now. Yeah. The only chance for us to change the future is to change the present. The point of the present is the only time that is in existence. Till a time not in outside that. The past,
Okay.
the future is actual is the present. Remember, I call it actualize. The past, present, which you already gone. It's already been actualized. You talk already.
Okay. Alone time I hear me share my low. Okay. A low phone calls. A la video could play, for example. Share a caption, a bear could report back a normal and a benyo or your benyo play time. It's impossible to get your point.
No, no, because those time she a movie is not like a movie. She jantata. We more is not a movie. It's actually a script. We actually writing the script of the movie as we speak.
Okay. Nanti and put chair time, chair gero, and another time in which I want to hear and check them up while I part of God. The con mật còn dialo and time qua sang đấy. Chỉ phía đồng nhớ bên ô and point could dare future dare again. Xem tan mật bo ya da again. Okay. Lakin could dare father again. Ya bukan lo share again. Okay. Nganda do chagui ba. Take a problem跟nganda do me je part bi je take a problem di ni mem ya mari ya tin gwa mo. Gue yang tema taman coba. Lakin gue ban nyo mo ka to fungu dong tani. Kan kita gue ke alan yung kon dian kulo la mo kanyo mat kan dian kulo lo la te mo kanyo mat la mo nyi mo de kon discuss siya la mo de mo nyo mat kan
Ko time to begin with, ko time to begin. We could suck in the past. Okay.
Mem tem daramatin usan da kono cross ra
Tela me diri la maten la discussing magwa where these are things you are still thinking, yeah. La mela dikane enda me ne logic from God perspective ne ajak. But no, then you could convene with all the evidence, with philosophical theory, tinta ya tin kine mala long dama. We really just go with reality. That's how we really want to go. But at least take an chip God feed and to make an again a theory, take an but to make a take another reason again. So I think it's good discussion, but men talk and inability of God to change the past, inability. But being there is nothing there. Okay, there is nothing. Michidos kapas. Cherko ni future icon video. You take a future medicine me script. Mukuna la jal jode. You can change it another. Okay, you can change it another. So it is of our creation. We are creating something. We are part of this creation. To go on the abana ke chak ke. But mete mu ke drop charm. What we should do really is to change the root. Okay. To michi ngaje no bu pending. Like drop jal biji and ramati open ke valley. What you can do is to go left or right. Okay. You go back to the past. Maybe by the past still. Why would you need to go back? That's exactly how God look the time. Thank you.
All good, all good. Tell me, Didi Martin. And let us know of the next topic we're going to discuss. Can we take a follow-up question on the topic? Well, we can discuss them. I think it's really good. Um, you know, now I have an interest in philosophy now. I didn't think I would be talking about philosophy. So anyway, it's a good discussion.
Right, that's fine. Members kira la next topic ba and balari room ki mo la kira mo ko next topic. Memban discuss ke next week inshallah.
Thank you,
Inshallah.
guys.
Okay.
July test for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.